What is up, my fellow Chibits? Today, I'm here to bring all of you a new weekly anime review of Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans Season 2. It has been about 2 to 3 weeks almost since the last episode of Gundam came out, or the new episode. I know we've had a recap episode and all that, but overall, we haven't had any new episode with new content in the past couple weeks. So, seeing this new episode finally come out makes me happy, because I have missed this show. It's something I look forward to every single Sunday, to wake up early morning, and then watch an episode of Gundam, because it's such a great series. I love what's been going on in the recent events of the series, too, especially what's happened to, Mika as well. I mean, I just want to see what's going to happen next, so I'm glad to finally have the series back, and it's off of break. So, this episode of Gundam, Eok really is starting to piss me off. This character, Eok, is so fucking annoying. What this man did in this episode, I'm like, oh my god, this man already fucks up everything in the last arc. He starts a lot of shit, he's being brain dead, and he caused the mobile armor to kill more people. Just, Eok is stupid. But then, in this man is causing problems with the turbines. And I'm like, are you fucking serious? Like, this man is so crusty. He's such an asshole, going out of his way and doing this shit. I'm like, oh my god, this man's obviously being used, and he's completely fine with it. And then what he said to his men at the beginning of this episode, I'm like, how brain dead must you be? He says to his men, I want you all to, blindly follow me. I'll take all the responsibility, but I want you all to blindly follow me. I'm like, what? You want your fucking soldiers not even to question how stupid you are when you do some stupid shit in the future? Are you freaking serious? Just like, Eok, oh, his character just, he annoys me so fucking much. Like, that man annoys the hell out of me. But with that being said, though, the turbines are in a lot of trouble. Right now, all of their routes and everything they usually do has been blocked off by Gjallarhorn, and they can no longer operate like they normally do. So this leaves, Naze and them in a very big bind. And on top of that, now they're recognized as an illegal organization. They're no longer in the gray area. Now the entirety of Gjallarhorn wants them because they're an illegal organization. And so Tewas are trying to now figure out what they need to do. Do they need to kind of just cut, ties with the turbines? Or do they need to help them out and get them out of this situation? Regardless, though, the whole reason why this is happening is not actually thanks to Tekadon, but it's actually thanks to just internal struggle with Tewas as an organization, and how there's many different factions inside of it trying to do their own certain thing. And we already see in this episode with the flashback we get with Naze to how his organization was formed, like his faction inside of Tewas, how he joined Tewas in the first place, why he has so many women in his crew, and on top of that too, how there was another person that seemed to just be very jealous of the status of what, Naze has gotten, thanks to, forming this group he has right now. And so, Naze's backstory is something that really intrigued me with this episode, because he's the type of character I really liked in the first season. I've loved his role he's played throughout Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphan. I've just loved his character, and I love how he's like this big role model for Orga throughout the entirety of this series. And one of the big things that's cool about his character design, or just the way he's written in general, is just how he has this big-ass crew, and he has a bunch of wives. I'm like, oh, this is really different and weird. You don't normally see this from a character. But then, what the man said in this episode blew all my expectations out of the water. I just did not think his character would go that far, because many have been talking about the Akihiro and Laughter type, relationship going on in recent episodes and even last season. And many said if Naze found out about this, it would cause some form of issues between Tekadon and Van Turbines. But in reality, that did not happen. Naze acted very mature, and the way he went about it was something that was so unexpected, but it honestly fits his character from what we have seen so far. He states that the whole reason why he formed this organization in the first place, so, having all these wives and stuff, was because he really respected his main wife. He loved her, and how she would constantly go out of her way to try to save these different groups and stuff that were just all women, and they would take on jobs that not even men would want to take on. And so he decided to form an entire organization focused around just hiring and recruiting all these women, and so they could have a better job opportunity, be safer, and also they could just be happy in general, better pay and everything. And so Naze tried to be a very good man. He tried to go out of his way to help them out. And he states that yes, he'll take the benefits of, having an entire crew of women, but at the same time, though, he's not going to be an asshole that wants it all for himself. He states, like, if they want to go off and find another man and be with someone else, he's completely fine with that. He's like, even though they're my wives, I still feel like they're more like my daughters. I feel like when they finally do find someone they want to be with, and they have their own path they want to, go for, it makes him happy. He's like, I feel like they're growing up as a woman. They're becoming something that they want to be, and he's like, I'm proud of that. They're no longer shackled by their past responsibilities. They can do what they want to do. So Naze stating that about how he would be completely fine if Akihiro and Laughter got together, that made me very happy with this character. I really hope, because we got a flashback in, this episode, it doesn't result in Naze and his entire crew dying. I mean, we do know how Gundam is all about the death flags. I mean, there's a hell of a lot of death flags in this series. It happens quite often, and for us to even get a flashback on Naze like this, especially with the drama circling around turbines in this episode, I'm fearful that he's probably going to die. And I really, 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 really hope he does not die in the future episodes, because I've loved his character, and I've loved what he stood for, and what he continues to stand for, and so I do hope the flashback we got in this episode was not a death flag to say he's about to fucking die. I mean, he's just too good of a character, and I would feel so sad if he was to be killed off in, like, next week's episode or episode after that, so let's just hope that does not happen. Now, regardless of all of that stuff, though, let's talk about the situation of what is going down with Tekkadan. So, Tekkadan right now, they are in a very interesting spot thanks to what's happened to the turbines. The turbines, as we know, they've always been this very big support to Tekkadan. They've always helped them behind the scenes and even publicly as well when it comes to whatever Tekkadan does out in the open. And the turbines have always been these people to help them out when there needs to be repairs done to their, frames, their Gundam frames, to, other things like whatever Tekkadan needs. Turbines are always helping them out. And if the turbines are not there, there's two things this means. Number one, Tekkadan automatically, they're at a disadvantage from what they normally would be at, because they don't have that support, what they're used to having, from the turbines. And also, another way to look at it is like, Tekkadan learning how to be independent, not relying on Naze in his crew. And so, this arc could be represented, even if Naze does not die, it's kind of like showing, can Orga and his entire crew, Tekkadan, can they overcome any obstacle before them without the help of the turbines or Tewas. And so I hope that's kind of what this arc is trying to represent, instead of Triss trying to kill off Naze, because that would make me very sad. Now, one other way to look at it as well is that also, as we know, Tekkadan, there was a huge spotlight with the last arc, too, showing how they need to be by themselves as well. They don't want to need to require the help of Gjallarhorn all the time as well, so most likely, that's what the arc is trying to represent, that Tekkadan can accomplish these things, become, the ruler of Mars and all that, like Orga can, and everything will be fine, and, Tekkadan will be able to have happy and cheerful lives. Maybe that's what it's trying to represent. So yeah, I mean, that's a potential possibility. I have no idea if it'll go down that route, but that might happen because of the way the last arc was being set up towards that, but also how this arc is being set up towards it as well. So yeah, that's about it when it comes to this episode. It's a very simple and short episode. I mean, there was a little stuff here and there when it came to Atra and then Mika as well, and their relationship status. I mean, I'm really loving Atra in this season, how she's being a little bit more straightforward about her relationship and her feelings towards Mika, and I mean, hopefully we continue to see a little bit more development with that. But overall, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. How did you feel about this week's episode of Mobile Suit Gundam? Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? Please let me know your honest thoughts in the comments below. I love you all so much. Please be safe. Chibi out.